Hey everyone, welcome back to World of Warcraft Classic Hardcore and our Human Paladin. I appreciate you joining me today, and I hope you are all doing well. Today we are taking our chances with Loch Madan and its eastern territory. Thought about it for a bit, and ultimately decided not to make the infamous swim to Menethil Harbor and take the boat to Darkshore. We're going to dive headfirst into Ironman's excavation site and the Farstrider Lodge. Slightly worried about it. I don't think it'll be as bad as I'm making it out to be in my head, but this is certainly the more dangerous route, I would say, overall. And both the excavation site and the Hunter's Lodge are going to be challenging for sure. But I just felt like making the swim over to Darkshore was probably equally as risky, just for different reasons. I think a lot could go wrong in that swim. Could get caught in fatigue water. Could die to the Murlocs on the Westfall coast. Just a lot of stuff I feel like could happen. But we've got a full level's worth of rested experience, I believe. So let's get started. I think we can definitely go for a little bit of grinding on the way to the excavation site. It's going to be our first stopping point. We'll be able to explore that as well. See if there are any interactable books, any unique vendors that could be of use to us. And we'll have to turn in Bingle's quest as well. We did read the quest text for that quite a bit ago. Reported back in a week. He was last seen flying over the loch. Yeah, not too descriptive. But luckily, I do know where he is located. Not going to be too far away from the excavation site. But we'll save his quest for when we want to head north, deal with the crocodiles on this middle island here, and the trogs on the northern island. Got a couple of dwarves here in Holdar and Mirren. I think these guys will become important later. Delivering these barrels to the excavation site is hard work, but there are so many depending on us to get the blast powder there. We must do what we can against the Dark Irons.
Be good.
Alright, it's a tiny little bit of backstory there. It actually might be the first time we've seen the Dark Irons mentioned, I think. There might have been one other time, I'm not sure. There isn't really much to the Dark Iron story as far as Loch Madan is concerned. Only until the very end of the zone do you actually interact with any actual Dark Iron dwarves. Alright, we are approaching the excavation site now. Let's see what we got going on. Got one quest to turn in and one to pick up. And we've got a clothier.
How are ya?
Oh, interesting. Some shirts. Huh. Only thought we were going to see these in Stormwind. We've got brown, we've got gray, which is what we're wearing, and we've got white. White might actually be pretty nice to have. I don't know if I'm willing to pick it up now necessarily. I suppose I could. We are going to stop to pick up new abilities at level 18 anyway, so we can dump this off in the bank once we do so.
Watch your back.
Speaking of which, I need to make sure that we are saving up 70 silver for those level 18 abilities. We're at 22 currently. Hopefully it won't take too much effort to reach that. I feel like we've definitely been earning a lot more from quests and vendors and whatnot. Magmar Felhue. Jern wants to know what the slowdown is, eh? Iron Band is putting together his latest progress report with details, but I can tell you this, it's the Trogs.
Keep your feet on the ground.
Gathering idols. Recently, just before the Trogs surfaced within the site, we had uncovered a large number of strange carved idols, but we didn't have the chance to study them. For soon after their discovery, the Trogs chased us away from the ruins. And those idols have strange effects on the Trogs. It makes them go berserk. Bring me 8 idols, I want to study them. And I want them out of the Trogs' hands. You can find the idols on the Trogs infesting the site. Very nice. Gonna pick up a weapon as well, probably this two-handed sword for 13 silver.
Be good.
Shouldn't be too bad. And let's speak with Mr. Iron Band himself.
What's on your mind?
I need a progress report sent to Thelsamar. A progress report and a restatement of my request for more blast powder. Here's the report. Take it to Jern Hornhelm. He's our local contact in Thelsamar. It's not a difficult task, but it must be done.
Off with you.
Yep, we most certainly will do that. Let's take a look around the camp. See if we can notice any other interesting details. Nothing too interesting in the tents. Barrel of milk? Sure, why not? We're carrying milk with us as it is anyway. Don't think I've ever headed up either of these ramps before. At least within the camp itself. Got some cool stuff up here, actually. Nothing to interact with, unfortunately, but lots of scrolls, just some other equipment and whatnot. And a pretty nice view. Alright, so we're going to head into the site. We are not going to go very deep into the site. I say that on every single character I make and take through Lochmadan, but this time I definitely mean it. There's no super rush because I feel like we are going to have to pass back go past the excavation site again anyway to head back to Thelsamar at some point to turn in our progress report. So I'm thinking, even if we can just maybe get half of the idols now, I would just like to face whatever Trogs we can closer to the entrances, and there are a few entrances that we can do this with. So just pulled the Geomancer, yep, and I just pulled a second one, so definitely going to run away from this. I'm going to try to ping the Geomancer, level 17, that is a big yikes. He's taking a lot of damage though. I'm surprised the Digger has followed us this far, that's crazy. Well, the Hand of Justice, the Hammer of Justice, did stun him. Level 19. Oh my god, he disappeared. Or if he fell through the map or something. That is quite the distance. Quite the leash distance. I was not expecting that. So we're going to want to avoid those. Level 19 is too much for us. Level 17 is already kind of pushing it, but these geomancers go down very quickly at least. And luckily, they're also not the geomancers that cast spells. I think the only, quote-unquote spell that they cast is like a flame ward or something like that. It basically doesn't really do anything. So what they kind of act as is just really squishy, weaker, like melee enemies. Yeah, level 19. I guess we're really not ready for this. Even at 17, I feel like I would still feel pretty weary. 20? I don't remember them being this this high in level. I'm gonna go back to the other entrance. We did pick up an idol on the first one, as well as some wool cloth. We'll have to hold on to that. And we picked up a green belt as well that should be able to sell. Yeah, like these geomancers are super fine. Oh my god, did I pick up the same? Oh geez. Of the bear and of the whale. Back-to-back idols, back-to-back green belts. If we can continue to take on these geomancers, that would be fine. I would be okay with that. Digger at level 19's it's a little much. We can try. Looks like we couldn't pull him. I don't know how far he patrols. We'll have to be wary of that. Not sure what this ability this digger just used. But we should look to pull everything out as far as we can. Okay, yeah, these guys have Sunder armor. That is quite terrifying. But we didn't have too much difficulty with the digger either. It really wasn't that big of a deal. We'll try to take on that level 19. This is, I just feel so wrong going into this site at this level with only white gear, no talents, no potions allowed to be used. Alright, so for the orange mobs, we're definitely going to want to save our Hammer of Justice at the very least. Let's not take any risks. Let's use a couple of Holy Lights here. Oh my god. Yeah, any crit is going to be incredibly scary. All these misses are incredibly scary. Luckily, they run away. And also, luckily for us, we are getting pretty lucky on these idols. I'm pretty sure they're not a 100% drop. So I do think we are getting a little bit lucky here. But we did collect 4 so far, and I feel pretty good about that so far. I don't think we should go too far into the site. So I think what we're going to do instead is head over to the Forest Strider Lodge now. We'll go ahead and explore that area, pick up the quests. We'll do a little bit of grinding along the way. And the quest that we complete there should be enough to get us to 17 at the very least. And I'll feel a little bit more comfortable going back into the excavation site for those last 4 idols. Sunset over Loch Madon is like one of my favorite classic moments for sure. It's the classic scenery, I guess, in general. I've always had a fascination with these buildings up in the mountains and in the hills. You see these in like the wetlands as well. I wish you could like go into them. Wish they were like used for something. I think they're really cool, but you don't actually like see them used at all for anything in particular. You can see the Hunter Lodge in the distance, the Farstrider Lodge. Try to avoid killing some of the wildlife. Specifically, I think the carrion birds in the area, if we see any. Just because I believe that's one of the first quests. These are all the quests where you're kind of on a time limit to complete your hunt. And they're really easy when there's no competition for them. But if there are other players in the area, it can get a little bit tricky, especially considering that we can't group with anybody else either. So we'll see how this goes. Alright, we are entering the lodge now. We've got a bowyer, Mr. Cliff Hayden. Nothing special from you, but we can get rid of some things in our bag. Oh, I suppose we should read Ironband's progress report. Forgot that we can do this. 3 pages. Wow, that's a lot of progress. Honorable colleagues and truth seekers. The site's excavation continues, but it is slowed by the trogs mentioned in my last report. I am confident they can be dealt with, even if some of these trogs are more aggressive than usual. More artifacts were found recently, though in all cases but one, which I will discuss below, recent findings of the same caliber as before, interesting if not enlightening. There has been one exception. The peculiarly carved idols found recently, a brief description of these was included in my last report, seem to have an effect on the trogs at the site. They are drawn to the stone carvings, and some trogs are driven berserk by them. More study is required for any conclusions regarding these idols, but I remain hopeful that they will shed light on the link between the trogs and the titans. Oh boy. Lastly, I must restate my request for blast powder. My supplies are very low, which severely hampers the success of the excavation. I was told a resupply of blast powder was forthcoming, though I have not yet received it. What, may I ask, is the delay? Respectfully, Prospector Dartius, Ironband. Cool. I really like what they're doing there.
What's on your mind? See you soon.
Well met.
So we got some general supplies. It looks like our next upgrade for bags is the brown leather satchel at 25 silver. So it's going to be a while before I think we
See you soon.
fully stock up on those. It's going to take some time for sure. Let's speak with Merrick Ironheart first.
Great to meet you. Off with you.
Crocolisk hunting. Many a hunter is attracted to Loch Madon to hunt our famous crocs. There are always merchants who seek out crocolisk skins for clothing items or armor, and there are also some who enjoy the taste of their meat. We do some trade in this, but not a huge amount, as the crocolisks are ferocious and have entrenched themselves on the islands in the loch. But don't let me dissuade you, it's quite an experience, wrestling with the jaws of the beast. Why this one time? Why this one time? Yeah, recipe for crocolisk
See you
steak.
soon.
I don't think any armor is made out of crocolisk skin, if I'm not mistaken. But I believe this is one of the quests that is not on a timer. So we shouldn't have to worry about that. We can go out at our own pace for that one.
What can I do for you?
Got a leather armor merchant here.
Safe travels.
I guess that would also make sense. We've also got a high elf,
I am
which is a
listening.
lot of fun. Welcome to the Farstrider Lodge, Sedelian. Viren Swiftwind. Yeah, Blood Elves looked very interesting before their official models came into the game in TBC. Right, and our other quest is going to come from Daryl the Youngling.
You need something?
A Hunter's Boast. Think you can match wits with Daryl the Bold, huh? I should think not. Of course, you're more than welcome to try. Here's a challenge that should prove to be above your abilities, so don't feel too bad if you can't face up to it. A flock of buzzards has nested here in Loch Madan. Why don't you try to take down some of the beasts? Tell you what, if you meet my challenge in 15 minutes, I'll give you my bow or gun. It seems you haven't much to lose anyways. Pretty cool.
Have a good one.
So we are on a 15-minute timer, so we are going to go. I don't think there's anything else to investigate as far as the lodge is concerned. Don't really see any like hidden vendors or anything else to interact with. It's a pretty empty place. But let's get those buzzards. They should all be basically towards the immediate west and a little bit south as well. This is another tough quest that you could have some trouble with if you're going through this place for the first time. Just because you, especially without add-ons, you might not know the location of some of these animals. And if you spend too much time searching, you might not have enough time to get through everything. So we're only going to need 6. We're going to try to avoid these bears as much as we can, since we don't need them. We're not going too far away from the lodge, so I'm not too concerned about it. Got hit with a nasty 20-minute disease. 3 stamina. Luckily, we have Purify, which most, if not all, other classes cannot use. very fortunate that we have that ability. I feel like paladins in general are probably one of the best classes to be set up with the Iron Man challenge. Probably right behind Priest. Priest is probably still the best, I would imagine, because your armor value with Priest is already pretty low. Like, it's not going to be that much of a difference. Like, your armor's not going to make that much of a difference between white items versus, like, green or blue items. But the big thing about Priest is you obviously get the stamina buff. But you also get an armor buff. So you don't really lose all that much as far as the gear is concerned with Priest. And, I mean, I suppose Hunters and Warlocks are probably decent as well, just because of their pets. I would have to imagine Rogues and Warriors are probably going to have the toughest time. But at least Rogues have a bunch of different escape tools. Alright, so we've finished Hunter's Boast. Let's go ahead and turn this one in. We made a great time. Didn't have to worry about other players taking our kills.
How are you?
Back at the lodge, let's go ahead and vendor a couple things. And we'll turn this in. Hopefully we start making a little bit more silver. We're leveling pretty quickly with this
Hello.
rested experience.
Safe travels.
Hunter's Challenge. Sedelian Ath, is it? I can tell you're bursting with pride over completing the first test, As I told you before, it's no large feat. You should try your hand at boar hunting. Trust me, this is no Coldridge Valley boar hunt, so you'd best have a care with them. I'll give you just 12 minutes this time. Don't feel bad if you fail. I'd give you the shirt off my back if you succeeded. Have I related to you the story of how I received my famous scar? No, it was 2 years ago. Fine cloth shirt. Oh, that's interesting. So it's a shirt. I wonder what this is going to look like. You know, it's got a little bit more detail, I feel like, than what we've got now. And it matches our set perfectly. Our current set. I just love the gray, though. I feel like gray just looks... dark gray looks perfect. Exactly what I want to go for.
See you around.
Let's take this task. This is definitely a little bit more challenging for sure. We're going to have to go further south, much closer to the lock. Could run into some extra stuff too, like bears and whatnot. In fact, we're probably most definitely going to run into some bears. We'll try to avoid whatever we can. Let's focus on the boars. And if and when we do complete the quest, I am interested to see if the shirt actually gets removed from his model. I think that would be hilarious if that were the case. I wasn't paying attention to see if we actually took his gun or his bow when we completed the first quest. Would be a nice little touch to add, though. Starting to see some bears and some boars. Let me just make sure that we're getting the right one. We need elder mountain boars, so these regular mangy ones aren't going to cut it. So We're going to head through the mountains here. And we should start to see more the further west we go. Also seeing a bunch of other stuff that I'm going to try to avoid. Not seeing a lot at the moment. Hopefully slightly north there'll be a little bit more available. Just a ton of bear. I think I see one in the distance over there. We'll have to go through this patriarch to get there though. A nice little shield there. Yep, got a couple elder mountain boar here. Yeah, it looks like it was slightly north of this hill here. Luckily, we only need 5. And I'm pretty confident that we'll find all 5 right here. And once we turn in this quest, we should hit level 17. Just a couple more. Alright, perfect. We are done. Let's make sure we get back to the Far Strider Lodge in time. 6.5 minutes should be more than enough. Maybe get away with killing 1 or 2 things here and there. And let's hit level 17. Get that extra, the ability to learn that extra 5 skill points in Mace. Hopefully be able to hit some stuff a little bit easier, especially back at the excavation site. And with that, we have reached level 17. Very nice. What did we get here? It's 1 point in everything. 21 hit points, 34 mana. Not too bad. Got a decent amount of animal parts to vendor.
Looking for something specific? What can I do for you?
Hello there, Daryl. You seem a bit worse for wear. No doubt the boars gave you some trouble, No worries, I will be discreet about your struggle. I can imagine how hard it must be for you without the accusations of wagging tongues. Oh, you managed to kill the boars. Well, that is to say, I'm not surprised. Any child could have bet.
Safe travels.
Alright, I guess that is all from Daryl the Youngling. And that's gonna be all from the Farstrider Lodge for now. Viren here has a quest, but I'm pretty sure
What brings you here?
it's, Viren's Revenge. We are not doing this one. That is not a lot of experience to be had from killing an elite enemy. And no additional rewards either make it not really worth it too much. So we're going to head back towards the lock. I guess we'll deal with the rest of the excavation site. And then I think we'll just head back to Thelsamar from there. We'll wait on Bingle's quest. Because we're going to want to handle the trogs within the Valley of Kings first. Outside the Valley of Kings, over in Stone Splinter Valley. Because the follow-up quest to that involves dealing with some trogs on the same island where we can take care of Bingle's quest. So I can see the excavation site. We're going to have to be careful. I don't want to go in from this angle. Yeah, we're going to have to go around. Just to be on the safe side. But I feel a little bit, slightly more comfortable facing the level 19 diggers now. Hopefully they won't be as much of an issue. Got a level 18 digger right here. Let's see if we can grab him. Hopefully nobody else. Let's see if we can kill him quickly. Don't want to deal with Sunder armor too much. Oh, and we pulled something else. Only level 13 though, I'm not too concerned. And we'll go ahead and use Divine Protection just to be on the safe side. Let's take a peek over this hill. See if we can pull something easily. It doesn't look too problematic. Let's see if we can isolate this digger here. To use Blessing of Protection. I think I'm going to. I think that might be the first time we've actually used both protections kind of back to back. Ooh, this is getting kind of rough. I feel like we're missing a lot of swings. We got him low enough so he's running away now. Let's get healed up. Let's get some more mana going. See, if you can guarantee that your weapon's going to hit, it's not so much of a big deal. Dealing with these trogs in general. It's when you miss your swings multiple times in a row that it becomes a huge problem. Please give us more of these geomancers. They just go down so much faster. We got a respawn already back here, unless we just missed this little guy. This is as far into the excavation site as I'm willing to go over here. So we'll have to wrap around if we want some more stuff to kill. Let's kind of get out of this area first. We'll head closer to the campsite. Might have only gotten one idol so far. No, we've gotten two, so we only need two more. Good timing on this patrol. We got hit with the Sunder Armor immediately. It's noting that we do not have Divine Protection yet, or Blessing of Protection. Stack of Sunder Armor on us now. Alright, things are starting to get a little bit too sweaty for my liking. We're not going to be dealing with the Berserk Trogs at level 20. So let's wrap around to the other entrance and try our luck over here. Starting to see a few more players here and there too. Got to be mindful of these respawns. rates could go up if there are a little bit too many in the area. I don't know if I can pull this Geomancer without pulling this other one. Okay, I just pulled the one. It's good. I do apologize if there's a little bit extra commentary here and there. I'm usually a little bit less chatty, I feel like, when we've got some open areas like this, but I just feel like these areas are so... this area is like so dangerous for us right now. Yeah, it's going to be a little bit of a rough pull. That I feel like the extra commentaries is kind of required to keep up with what's going on. Still need 2 more idols, unfortunately. Our luck has kind of taken a turn here on our return visit to the excavation site. Let's pull this Geomancer. And there it is, our final carved stone idol. Perfect. Let's get back to the campsite. Right, Magmar. Got your idols for you. You got them. Nicely done, Sedelian. And you don't look too worse for wear, even with those berserk trogs about. I'm going to keep an eye on you. You show some promise.
Safe travel.
Let's grab the Trog Slicer. Very cool looking sword. Alright, and with that, let me see what we got going on here. We should go back to Belsamar so we can turn in that report. And then we're gonna have some decisions to be making. Kill a couple of things along the way back. So we gotta decide if we want to stay here in Loch Madon for another episode. Maybe we'll go to the Valley of Kings and Stone Splinter Valley again. Take on the Seers and I think it's the Skull Thumpers this time around. It's a little bit dangerous going into the valley. You need to go deeper into the hills in order to pick those up. And the Seers are, of course, caster enemies, so they're going to hit pretty hard. So we have that option, and then we can follow up by meeting up with Bingles, dealing with the Crocolisks, and potentially more Trogs up north. We'll at least scout out that area if that's the route we decide to take. Or we can go back to Westfall. I know this quest to defeat the pillagers and the looters is green, but honestly, I don't know when we're going to get to that quest. I feel like I wouldn't feel comfortable with it until at least level 18. Killing fields would definitely be doable, though. And we're not ready for Red Ridge just yet. And then apart from that, it's whether or not we want to either make the run or the swim. I mean, the run through wetlands might be okay at 17. It's not like a ridiculous thing, but yeah, I'm not sure. I'm also not sure what's going to be available to us in Darkshore anyway at this level. That's not... like we might end up having to do a bunch of gray quests first before we can get to the stuff that we can actually sink our teeth into and get some experience from. It's a really tough decision. I feel like we're not yet at that point in the leveling journey where we have an overabundance of quests. That's probably not going to happen until we're around maybe like level 20. Somewhere between 20 and 25 we'll start hitting that moment where there's just a ton of things to do. We have made it back to Thalsamar. Let's jump down above the Stout Lager Inn. Let's go ahead and turn in this report.
Hello! Keep your feet on the ground!
Bah, Ironband's having trouble with the Trogs. I wonder if he wants that blast powder to aid his digging, or to aid his efforts against the Trog beasts. Well, either way, it's powder well spent. But what's strange is, I sent him plenty of blast powder weeks ago. I wonder where it went. Well, we already know where it went, of course.
See you soon!
Report to Ironforge. We'll need approval to get Ironband more blast powder. You'll have to take this report to the Explorers League headquarters in Ironforge. Here's the report. Give it to Prospector Stormpike. And don't forget to duck after you deliver it. Stormpike is hot-headed, and he won't be happy to hear of Ironband's slow progress at the site. You'll find Stormpike in the Assembly of Explorers.
Safe travel!
Very cool. You know what? Before we go ahead and do that, I'm going to take a quick look at my quests here. Oh man, it's a tough decision, but it would be nice if we could stay here in Lochmadan, hit level 18 in the next episode. It's going to be tough, facing off against the Crocolisks and the Trogs. But then we can save this report and just bring it back to Ironforge when we're ready to pick up our new abilities. I wouldn't mind spending some more time in and around the lock anyway. Do we want to keep the shirt? I think we will. We've got the space for it. So I think that is totally fine. We have reached our 70 silver goal for our new abilities at level 18, which is great, so we'll end up with some extra ones, but we'll have to check and see what we're going to get at level 20. Make a couple of bandages, replenish our stock. Yeah, we've got some wool cloth as well. Once we hit 80 first aid, we should be able to pick up that next recipe. Voids are pretty hard to get at the moment, though, since these are green to us. Now, before we go, I suppose we can read Ironbad's progress report to Mr. Stormpike. No, I guess it's the same thing, huh? Yeah, so we're just taking the same report over. That's fine. All right. Let us hang out in the inn. I think we're gonna end up in Loch Madan again in the next episode. We'll be outside the Valley of Kings. We're gonna also explore the northern part of the loch and the islands within as well. As always, I appreciate you all so much for watching, and I hope to see you in the next one. Bye for now.